The renovation series is back and I'm doing my best to continue it. Let's go! Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Rose, my pronouns are she, her. This is my boyfriend Geert, and we are doing another renovation video. In this one, I don't know what's actually gonna happen, but we're starting with painting some small bits and bobs around the living room, finishing off all the small projects that still have to be done. I'm gonna leave you here and gonna help. Watching back and editing this, I noticed that I don't really help. My boyfriend paints the sides, paints the other sides. I'm nowhere to be seen. So maybe I was doing something else that was very important. I don't know, because it's months and months ago, but sorry boyfriend, and thank you for doing so much for our beautiful house. We had to break this out ourselves at the beginning of the renovation so that the builders could reach all the pieces that they needed to reach. In the last renovation video before our big break from these, I showed you this process of building them, and now he's just finishing them off and painting them one last layer. Moving upstairs, after finishing this new wall, of course we need a windowsill, so that's what we're working on. We just made the little corner thingy because there was a draft coming through, and now it shouldn't be anymore. We used MDF board for this because of money. We still had these pieces left over. It's a temporary solution, but at least it will be closed, no more draft, and we can start to put some plants on there maybe. To help prevent any further drafts, there is this hole between the wall and the insulation that we filled at the top with expansion foam, PU foam, I don't know the English word, but it was very, very fun and satisfying to do, so we took turns. And then I leaned against the wall and got this foam on my bum, which ruined my pants. Back to downstairs, where Mickey was investigating all the new stuff happening. My boyfriend is helping with this next part to see if Fanny will be happier upstairs. Also his suggestion, he said, his plant is not getting enough light. And he was right, and I was wrong. Oké.
Waar is het kring?
Best wel zwaar.
Tillen vanuit het ding.
Pas op voor de bovenkant. Ja, goed. Beetje naar voren leunen, ja. Goed zo.
Heel dik al eens.
Ik film het al. Yes! Oh, look at all this light, Fanny. Thank you, boyfriend. Let me show you the greenhouse, which is currently more of a storage space for the renovation. Look at all this chaos. All this stuff is making it a little bit hard to take care of my plants. Luckily, most of the cacti and succulents don't need water in the winter. Hello, it is time for the next part of the renovation. It's still just small parts, but we're taking the wallpaper off this wall because the builders are going to have it plastered, which they said was a little gift from them to us for Sinterklaas. You see how this part is just super ugly still? So this is gonna be all nice and plastered. One wall in the kitchen will be very nice. And taking off this plaster, actually, my boyfriend did some yesterday already, as you can see, and he said it is very, very hard. It does not want to come off in like a satisfying, quick way. It's just lots of hours of spraying and then scraping. So I'm gonna continue that today. As soon as I started, I realized it was gonna take a long time and it wasn't very fun or satisfying. So I decided to switch on some music.
When my depression works the graveyard shift on all the people, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me.
I don't want to get a copyright claim, so I'll put some other music over this video, or maybe I will leave the music out, which has been better for my brain in the past few videos.
Did you leave your house in the middle of the night?
But you can probably tell I'm listening to Taylor Swift. I think I listened to all the albums while doing this wall. It took so long. But maybe it's satisfying to watch, so I'm trying to put a lot of the footage in so you can actually enjoy.
Cause it loves me.
It went so slow as well. This video is sped up 20 times and still it is not going very fast. It's not very satisfying. Maybe I should skip this whole part. I'm questioning my editing choices. But if you're watching this, I kept it in, I guess. Let me know what you think about that choice in the comments. Thank you. But as I got lower down on the wall, pieces started to come off a little bit easier. We had moisture issues here for years, so I figured I was finally getting to the good part, and here it was. Look at this, I didn't even need my scratcher to get these pieces off.
That smells bad.
I had been looking at the bubbly wallpaper on this wall for years, so I was very excited to finally get all of it off and prepared, especially for my boyfriend to come home and see that I did the whole wall by myself for once instead of him doing all the work. Here he is. He had picked up some IKEA furniture secondhand from the local marketplace. It's time for another job. We are making finally the roof chapel, the dormer window, closed off, at least one side. Look at the nice monstera. So we measured. Usually I do the measuring actually. Then we sawed. This is my boyfriend's massive skill. He has so many tools and DIY skills. It's always a little bit scary when you bring a measured piece upstairs. And when we put it on the wall, or when my boyfriend put it on the wall, we noticed it didn't fit. That was because we needed to make a little hole for the electricity, and then it did fit. We measured the other side as well, and I got to put that on. Again, it fit very, very nicely. So it was time to screw it on. Oh! This is so satisfying to see.
Yeah.
And the last one. Good morning. It is very early. I'm filming outside because it's light at 7:30 a.m. And there is a new builder coming for inside. The kitchen wall is being plastered today, so that's amazing. And I've set up a time lapse this time to hopefully show you what is happening. This is the wall around our new door. So above there, they're gonna close it off. And then this whole thing, so this was a new build. They broke open a little too much. And then all the way over to the top of the, hello, of the bathroom door. This is all going to be plastered today. Here he is. Yes, he immediately started taking down some parts of the wall. Those loose bits needed to get off before he prepped the wall so that the plaster will hold, which is this yellow stuff. And then he blended the plaster, which is my favorite part to watch because it's so satisfying. Especially this close-up. Look at this. It looks like he's going to make a cake.
En opsmeren dan.
Flat.
Laatste vlaat. Even de grote stukken eerst.
Ja. Er zijn echt enorme gaten. Lekker. Is it just me, or is this so satisfying to watch him just like throwing on these big chunks of plaster and then making it all smooth and nice? Oh, look at that. And then here is the time-lapse footage of him doing the rest of the wall in the first layer. While the plasterer is working upstairs, we are working on the ceiling here, closing that off with plasterboard, with Mickey as a little helper. Hey. Hey. Have you ever worked with plasterboard? You basically just cut the outside paper layer, like my boyfriend is doing here, and then you crack it. Nu knakken, dat is het leukst. Doe het. Poepie, doe het. This breaks the plaster inside. So satisfying. And then with the knife, you cut the other side as well, the paper part, so that it separates. We installed the first piece on the ceiling. My boyfriend screwed it in place, and then we realized it was not working out with how the flatness worked. So we had to redo it and put some little pieces of wood on the beams because the beams themselves were not level in any direction. And then we realized we needed to make holes for the lights and we didn't have the right drill for that. Downstairs, the plasterer kept working, of course, smoothing the wall out. Look at how beautiful it's becoming. Meanwhile, I had to go teach some yoga at the European Space Agency, so I was gone for a little while. I just got home from yoga and the plaster is already gone. Look at this beautiful wall. Wow, so smooth. On the way there, I bought some new drills for boyfriend so that we can continue the dormer window ceiling. When I was away, boyfriend put little bits of wood here so that we can actually get the plaster boards on the wall, or whatever they're called, gipsplaat. Drywall, that's the word I was looking for. Drywall or plasterboard. Let me know in the comments which one you use more, or ever. Ja. Sneeuwt.
Kijk mij dan.
Then boyfriend connected the lights. This is something he's pretty good at after years of me cleaning his face. I didn't even notice that until now. Yeah, he's become really good at electricity and learned from the electricians that we have had in the house. Please always be careful if you do work with electricity and switch off the main. Don't just try this at home because it's not as easy as it may look. These lights were pretty hard to get into the ceiling.
Get in there.
Get in there, buddy. But there it goes. Oh! Moet er wel weer afwas gaan verven. Are you satisfied? Doe hem eens aan dan. We drilled the hole for the second light, connected it.
One. Oh, mamma mia. That's amazing.
My boyfriend is the best. On to the next plate. We, by the way, really enjoy making these videos for you together.
Am I being recorded?
You are, darling. Do you like to be?
Yeah.
On to the second side. What we don't show you often is how many times it takes before a piece fits. So here my boyfriend is sanding, we measure it, and it didn't fit again. So more sanding down the plate until it fits all the way in. Yes, and then we can screw it. You see me drawing lines because we only have a very thin place where we can screw them in because of the pieces of wood we had to screw on. Time for the last of the 3 lights.
Arr. Damon is a wild animal. Put it in. 3, 2, 1.
I hit my head this morning on this door actually, so I don't know if you can see. There's a bump. And my boyfriend worked really hard as well in his vacation, so we're gonna chill. But I wanted to show you end of the day update. It looks so good. Wow. It looks a lot taller because now it goes all the way up to where we removed the old ceiling. You can still see the white lines there. This wall is all smooth up there as well. I don't know if I can show you any better. I don't know if I'm allowed to touch this yet, but so good. And then upstairs, we have a fluffy Maggie and the first step to these ceilings. We were gonna continue them and finish them tonight, but I was not functioning properly anymore with my headache and overstimulation. And then my boyfriend got an invite to go play tennis. So we're now on a break, chilling, resting, putting cream on the head. I don't really know what to say. The builder and his wife just showed up. They were knocking on the window while I was on the toilet in my bathrobe. And I had to rush, like, finish the toilet and rush to them. And then I was like, I'm basically naked right here. So they came to bring some stuff and said that they're gonna start up again our project because there's still lots of finishing touches to be done. That was not a relaxing start of the morning. I wish they would just call and say, hey, we're coming over, so that we can mentally and physically prepare and be ready for them. But I guess they are very busy and they just come whenever it fits in their schedule or whenever they're walking by. Look who's here. Back up. Maggie was hiding, of course, because She doesn't love the builders. But I guess it's starting up again, the big jobs. For now, we're just focusing on the ceiling and the dormer window, so time to put the next plate of plaster in there. It's really long and thin, so it's a little bit more tricky, but boyfriend is cutting it here. The second side, we already cracked it, as you can see. Hey, Mick. Hey, okay. This one needed to be cut around the beam you see on the left here. So my boyfriend used different tools to get the plate fitted nicely. This is, I don't know, the decoupeerzaag in Dutch, to do this side, and then we can crack the rest by hand. When it is too thin, like this is already quite thin, it is a little bit harder to break. It won't be as precise. So you can also do that with like just a knife and cut the whole thing. It fits, but not perfectly, so I'm giving my boyfriend some points to work on, like scraping some away from the back here, and then we measure again, and it fits properly, so time to screw it in. Oh, Mickey wants to say hello too. I very much enjoyed seeing myself struggle trying to measure this next piece, so I put it a little bit slower. Then I got my boyfriend to help. And while I measured the plate, he picked up Mickey to check out our work. Again, this precise measuring takes a few tries, so you see us going back and forth, and then me thinking, oh, another corner needs to go off. Boyfriend chilling while I do that. While he got the tools ready, I picked up Mickey to have a little cuddle session because they need attention, especially during this renovation time. They really wanted our attention. And of course, both of us are very happy to give it when we can and when they're not hiding away from the builders. Time to screw in the last piece. Again, you see a line here where there was something behind it, so we don't screw into the open nothingness.
Did you see it going up?
Yeah.
It went up quite a bit.
Hello, boyfriend.
This one's quite tight.
Tight as in good, or?
It's very good.
Because this one is a little bit...
We can put some tape.
Holy. Holy. What? Oh, let's do it. Oh, it's very nice. Are you happy?
Now we have to clean this mess.
Yes.
I'm gonna get the trash can. We throw all the stuff in.
Mickey. While I've been sleeping, resting because of brain injury things, my boyfriend has fixed up the whole ceiling, the whole dormer window. All the holes have been filled for the first time. It looks amazing. Looks amazing. Good job. Hello. The next step is to sand these closed gap thingamies that my boyfriend made a special thing for because the gaps are too wide to even... I got very scared. I'm almost crying. Okay, so let's try that again. He made a special machine. He drilled a plate onto the sander to make the surface bigger because these are pretty wide and the sander itself was not wide enough. So, good luck. I'm gonna wipe my tears away now. My boyfriend has been working really hard on the renovation things. He's been painting the ceiling and the dormer window and the sides. And what we're noticing now that it is March and the sun is coming in, look at all this sun. This whole space immediately warms up. As soon as the sun comes out, it feels bright and sunny, even though it's still pretty cold outside. Look at this. There's still a lot of mess, but also a lot of sunshine. Oh. It's time for another renovation project in the kitchen. Boyfriend has made a cabinet that's gonna go here. It's gonna look the same as the kitchen cabinets. This is just the inside part. Oh, you made the holes already as well. Nice. Very nice.
Safety first.
We will add the nicely painted doors and fronts and sides later. Oh, goeie service.
Safety third.
You do need to plug it in, baby. Good. Let's drill some holes in our brand new wall. This was a little bit scary, but it is to hang the cabinets, so it's worth it. I'm there with the vacuum to catch most of the dust. Here's the plugs that go into the wall.
Hammer.
Hammer. Here are screws, not nails.
I hammer the plug further than the stuksel.
Aha. Turns out with measuring where it had to be, we just measured the middle of the wall and we didn't pay any attention to where the plug is gonna be. So we found a quick solution by sawing off a little bit of this board, and then we can slide the cabinet away from the plug hole, hopefully.
That's why we are not professional builders.
That's why we're not professional builders and measurers. But let's try it, fingers crossed. Let's go. Did you see my little dance there? We lifted the cabinet on and then you can see us sliding it to the left a little bit and back and forth actually. So there's a little bit more space now. If you're judging us for this, for example, then remember our budget is 0. So we're making this with leftover pieces of wood and we can fix this with the little strijkbout layer, iron board thingy that you can make on on the end. The house is a bit of a mess, so we're falling all over the place. But my boyfriend made a kitchen cabinet. Did we even show you the bottom part yet? He also made this to go around our dishwasher. So we have a new little coffee corner. And that's it for this part of the renovation. I know it's short videos, but like I said last week, I'm doing my best to make this manageable and keep it going. I have been having a lot of headaches, so editing is always a little bit harder. In the next video, hopefully next week, you'll see the builders coming back to switch out our back door, which was wrong. Also, there is another plasterer coming to completely make over the front of our house, and we are so excited. I can't wait to show you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe below if you haven't already. Leave a comment. I would love to hear what you want to see from our renovation, from our house, maybe from the plants as well if you're into that. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here.